but she wouldn't let me probably just give her homage today without talking about the man that she loves so much, because this is Joseph and Regina Fleischer, my parents, and they were married 65 years.
Wow.
So,
Mark, show this side too.
what I wanted to do today is dedicate the Regina L. Fleischer portion of the Botanic Gardens that we have here in her memory, because she loved butterflies, and she loved, as you can see, there's different aspects here of learning, because she came to this country when she was 18 years old from Poland, and she was in the Holocaust. And she survived, and she came without speaking the language, and she learned it, and she became a master degree librarian. She ran the library in library science. It was her calling, and obviously she brought home a lot of books, and I was able to learn a lot of things. Anytime I was interested in anything, she always helped me get the information that I needed. And but the number one thing that she left me with was that you can always better yourself, improve yourself, and that learning is the most important thing, because knowledge is never wasted, and no one can ever take that from you. So in her honor today, I just wanted to go ahead and dedicate, this is what we call the Eternity Fountain, and we have a dedication stone here. Dad and Mom are buried about 15 minutes away. Dad was a veteran of World War II, and they're at the cemetery right there on Cave Creek Road. So, in loving memory of Regina L. Fleischer, on the first bird song of spring, the rose perfume of summer, the autumn leaf dancing all around you, the peaceful wintry wonder, on the memory recalled by the flickering flame, stories told under the starry sky, I live in your heart wherever love resides. I am with you always, I did not die. So, there it is. Everyone can come here now, and anytime you want serenity and peace, and just have a chance to have a good conversation around the fire pit. Now I have a lot of people to thank. First of all, my wife Sue, who obviously, I mean, is there anybody luckier than to be married to Sue? You know.
Amen.
So, and honor of my father, I will tell his joke. Sue and I only had one fight. That's right. So,
just 5 today alone.
and then there's another gentleman here, and his family, and now I consider my family as well. And this man right here, Junior Gonzalez, I want everyone to know that I couldn't have done this without his vision, without his assistance. And this is Aaron, his foreman, who they never said no. And I kept,
beat me if I said no.
I kept adding things. They're like, what do you mean you want to do that? I'm like, no, we've got to have Sedona flagstone because Mom loves Sedona. And, you know, her favorite color was cobalt blue. So, you know, we just really, there's nobody better in the business that will work with you and honor your, you know, your thoughts and wishes on a project that was really, I would say it's 8 weeks, isn't it? We started the end of July.
How
And
long
this was
did it take?
a pit. This pool, first of all, because of all the foliage, especially the eucalyptus, it was always oily and dirty and all that, so we drained it. And we didn't want Sheriff Joe to fly over here and see all the mosquitoes or anything, so we drained it. And having done that, I couldn't tell the insurance company or anybody, you know, what I was doing back there. And how many times watering I almost fell in, you know, and we couldn't let people just, you know, obviously, you know, injury and liability, so it was underutilized space. And to a gardener, there's nothing worse than underutilized space, because I came from Texas. Originally I was from Chicago, but when I lived 19 years in Houston, every house there came with like no less than 3/4 of an acre of land. I mean, when you're driving a car, you were still mowing the lawn, you know, on the street. So I like property and I like land. So what we did is we came up with this concept, and you're computer literate, so you know you had some drawings, and then from there we refined it. And but you know, Junior just made this whole thing come together. And when you can think of that block wall getting knocked down and a bulldozer coming in, and how many acres or whatever of soil did we have to bring?
A lot.
Yeah, just
A lot.
And it just like it was like time lapse. Every week another improvement, and then I went nuts because I love Amazon now, and I did Googling and I found things like, you know, a table that was made waterproof that has books, you know, so that table is really great, you know, for showing the fact that Mom was a librarian. And then Dad always said, you can never have enough turtles, you know, and buy another tiki. He was really crazy at the end. He just went and bought all sorts of things for the yard, and so to dedicate that, you know, portion of it too, to have a little fun as you're walking around. And so I hope you see a lot of different elements of memory of my mother. There's another little saying stone there, and a lot of butterflies and things. We planted plants that will attract butterflies. We even now have, they've done this for all the nurseries in the area. There's a new varietal of milkweed that is, everyone's selling it and everyone's supposed to plant it because we want to attract monarchs. And already there's been a couple of monarchs in the area. So I'm really excited about that. So we've got the butterfly garden and just a little bit of everything. So if you have any ideas that you want to add to this, you know, and you think it needs more, I don't know. I fail miserably when anybody of Oriental derivation comes in and they say, that's your Zen garden? I thought less was more, you know, you have one thing and that's it. I'm like, no, bring more, we gotta have more plants. So thank you so much for being part of this today and getting to see, this is our second annual Fleischer Museum, if you want to call it that, day, because it's National Museum Day. And we hooked up with the Smithsonian, and unfortunately we had to call off the dogs. I mean, I don't know if Sue told you, but there were people in the yard like at 9:30 this morning that apparently went online and they gave our address, and they were just thinking, so really.
Where's the food?
I'm coming out of the shower. You don't want to see that. So, anyway, it's just kind of fun. Maybe someday we'll be a 501c and we'll be able to eventually become bigger. But for now, enjoy the plants, the rocks, the masks, all the other things, and friendship.
It is beautiful, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.